course, I would have rather, fight for the world title, which I fought my way up the ranks, but I would have rather have, won it in a fight. But, things happen in boxing, and I was demanding a fight with whoever, and, it's just how it played out.
Being that, though, how does it feel to have the strap, have the W?
Oh, no, it feels great. It's a dream come true. I'm happy that, I'm world champion, especially at this young of an age. I said that in 2019, that I would become world champion, and it happened, and in 2020, I'm looking to make the biggest fights happen. But it all starts in November 9th. I defend my world title. And yeah.
With the Lomachenko fight, is that more of a case of you're on this network, he's on this network, or do you think it's Loma and his team who didn't want to defend the title?
I think I think that it's Loma's team. I think Loma, if he had it his way, I think that he would fight me. I don't think that it's necessarily him. I think that his team knows that I'm a huge threat, and they feel like it's some easier fights out there. But Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing and Top Rank have worked together on numerous fights this year. So I think the fight could be made, but I think this team just feel like it's easier opponents out there.
I know it's not as fun as talk about what if as opposed to the fight actually being here, but how would the Lomachenko fight go right now with you at 21?
It's many different ways that the fight will come out. I would never know it until I get in there. But I do see myself being victorious. However the fight plays out. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster, I'm more athletic, and I got youth on my side. I have all the attributes to be him.
Do you feel you'll be able to stay at 35 long enough?
No, I don't. I don't feel like I won't stay at 135. That much longer. I said this before that 135 wasn't easy for me to make. World title or not, I was gonna move up soon. So it's looking like in 2020 I'll make one or two title defenses and then I'll move up.
Do you think that's disappointing for the fans? They never got to see that fight. I know you wanted it.
Yeah, I do think that a lot of fans wanted to see the fight, but at the end of the day, I feel like that fight doesn't make or break me. It would be great to have to make that fight happen. I think the fight would be huge, but at the end of the day, I'm 20 years old, and there's still a lot of big fights out there that we can make happen.
Now, with the fight on the 9th, it's going to be a whole lot of people streaming in. Do you think with a performance you put on, you could even get people who don't care about boxing, who are just tuning in for Logan Paul, to come cross over to your fan base?
Yes, and that's why I felt like it was all right for me to go on the undercard, because I knew that it was a whole new audience, a lot of new fans that I can gain, by being on the undercard, and I'm gonna go in there, put on a great performance, and hopefully steal some fans.
Do you know who the opponent is, and does it really matter since it feels like it's more of a showcase fight?
Yeah, some things was going on with the opponent. It was kind of hard, because at first it was supposed to be for the interim title, and now it's for a world title. So that's a whole different type of opponent. The fighter will have to be ranked, in the top 15 and things like that. But I do have an opponent now, and I feel like it really didn't matter who I fought. I was going to go in there and make the adjustments. That's how I train. I never train for a specific fighter. I go in there to make the adjustments and do what I do.
And I wanted to ask you too about Ryan Garcia. Fights on the same app, DAZN, fights Saturday night. What do you think? Do you find Ryan to be on the same level as you and a Shakur Stevenson and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think Ryan is actually a really good fighter. He gets a lot of flack, for making Instagram videos and making these type of videos. But I think that he's a really good fighter, and I think that he's improved since being with Canelo's team. Hopefully one day we can make that fight happen. I think that would be a huge fight between me and him. Hopefully it happens sooner than later.
What makes him a top talent, though, being that you fought him 6 times?
He has a lot of experience. A lot of people don't know that. Ryan probably has like 14 national titles. He was a top amateur, coming out of the amateur ranks. He has probably double the amount of amateur fights that I have. So I think that his experience plays a big role.
Because it seems like you said, the followers and stuff. It's like people aren't, because of that, starting to take him as seriously as they do you and some of the other young.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, in the pros, some of the guys, you know, have improved a little bit more and showed, you know, more in their fights. But I think that Ryan is you know, a really good talent.
And when you talk about Ryan, is that more of a down the line fight? It needs that marination to become the event it should be.
I mean, like the fight would be bigger. The fight would be bigger if it happened down the line. But you know, I'm willing to make the biggest fights happen now. You know, I'm young. You know, I'm world champion, and you know, I'm willing to fight anybody. You know, I don't want to duck or dodge anybody. I don't want, you know, the fans to label me as that. You know, I want them to say that, you know, that guy, he's young, but he's willing to fight whoever, and that's what they're saying. They're respecting me for it.
So that would even include Teofimo Lopez wanted to come over and make an IBF if he beats Richard Coleman. Do you think he'll beat Richard Coleman?
Yeah, I honestly think that he will beat Richard Coleman. I think that he'll go in there, he'll make the adjustments, he'll use his speed, he'll be smart, and he'll beat Richard Coleman. A lot of people are saying Coleman is going to win, but I think different.
Do you think if Teofimo then he's lined up to fight Loma, would you see him winning that fight with Lomachenko?
Honestly, I don't see him beating Lomachenko if they fought. I do see it being competitive, but I don't see him beating Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko just has too many tools, and that once his plan A goes out the window, Teofimo, his plan B wouldn't work if he would have one.
How do you nullify those tools? Because you yourself obviously wanted the Lomachenko fight strictly to be a world champion. It's not like you were chasing him down in particular, but how do you nullify those tools? Being that you feel Teofimo wouldn't be Loma, but deep down inside you feel you're ready for Lomachenko. How do you nullify those tools?
I mean, if you watch Teofimo's last fight, I actually been in there ring with Teofimo, so I kind of know you know what he has and what he likes and what he doesn't like. But if you watch his last fight, you know, once he realized that he couldn't really knock him out, then, you know, he had nothing after that. You know, it was nothing. He didn't have a jab. He really didn't have that much head movement. But on any given night, we can have an off night. So in this fight with Richard Coleman, we'll see if he gets up for it.
I was speaking more in terms of Lomachenko himself. Because you said you feel that Teofimo probably wouldn't be ready for Loma right now. You feel personally you are.
Yeah.
Where do you separate that? How you can unify Lomachenko? Teofimo not being able to do it.
And that's what I meant. I was saying that, you know, I've been in the ring with him, so I've seen the tools that he has. I seen that, you know, that he really, you know, I wouldn't want to put any of his flaws out there because I do think that he's a good fighter, you know, but I just. Being in the ring with him, I saw that, you know, I have much more tools than him. I have you know, more experience.
Devin, if we were to fast forward here, you said you're moving up to 140 down the line. Is there someone that you already have on your radar? For example, you're perhaps working with Eddie Hearn and getting Josh Taylor?
Yeah, I actually talked to Eddie Hearn the other day about Josh Taylor. You know, maybe we can make that fight happen. You know, at 140. I really don't even know too many guys at 140, like Ramirez.
Ramirez is all that matters right now.
Yeah. So I guess those are the only two guys. But me having a WBC, who won the WBC at 140? Ramirez. So it's looking like, you know, maybe that would be the fight that would happen. If Bout puts him in the ring with me, me and Ramirez, we sparred before, like, you know, maybe like about a little bit less than a year ago. So yeah.
I think I saw when you were talking yesterday here with everybody that you said some of these fighters are trying to hate on me for getting the belt. If you want it, come get it.
Yeah.
Is anyone you want to say that to in particular?
I mean, I'm saying that to everybody. You know, if they feel like I don't deserve it and they feel like they can, you know, if they can beat me, you know, at 135, take the fight and let's make the fight happen. But other than that, you know, I haven't heard anybody speak up. So
and mention you by name.
Yeah. You know, they sending out subliminal messages, but you know, in reality, they know.
And Dev, can you get your thoughts on the main event Saturday night? I know you have a great respect for Canelo. Do you think he wins that fight against Kovalev?
Yeah, I think Canelo just, you know, he's in his prime right now. I don't see, you know, too many fighters out there being able to beat him. I think that you know, he has a lot of tools. He has a great jab, head movement. He can do it all, and I think he'll go in there. And I don't think that he'll stop him or anything like that, but I think that he should beat him fairly easy by outboxing him.
And I remember too, you know, after the Ward fight, you said, you know, Kovalev might have actually won that fight.
Yeah, the first fight.
Yeah, your first fight, of course. You high on his jab. The jab. Why is that not going to be enough against Canelo?
I think he slowed down since the Ward fight. I think the fights with Ward took a lot out of him. I don't think he's been the same since. So yeah, but Canelo just, you know, he has great head movement, and he's in his prime right now. Like I said.
Do you see the body shot? Everyone keeps talking about he's going to get him to the body.
Yeah, I think you know, we've been talking about the body shot so much that I think that, you know, Kovalev will go in there and he'll make the adjustment. He'll learn how to block a body shot or something. I don't know.
And, you know, again, from watching Canelo, is there anything similar about you guys? Maybe the defense?
I don't know. I don't really get too many comparisons to Canelo, but I like Canelo.
Is he, when you see him, he's not the prototypical Mexican fighter.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah, no, he got a lot of flavor with him. I really like Canelo as a fighter. You know, yeah.
Let me ask you a quick question here, Devin. As far as being on an undercard like the Paul Logan KSI, and the fact that it's going to attract a lot of a new audience, and you being on that, do you see that as something other people with that amount of followers should also continue to follow? Do you think it hurts the sport of boxing moving forward? What's your opinion on that?
I wouldn't say that we just make this like something that's just, you know, make it happen. Like, I don't think that it should happen often. Like, you know, I think it's good for boxing, you know, every once in a while, you know, for something like that. But I don't think that, you know, it's just a bunch of YouTubers who just come to boxing and think that they can just, you know, headline and do these such things. But I think it's good for boxing, you know, every once in a while.
Can we expect you to try to capitalize on that opportunity and steal the show and gain that new audience and pique the interest towards the sport of boxing?
Of course, boxing is something that I really do. You know, those guys, you know, of course they just started boxing or whatever. They're not, you know, real fighters or anything like that. So of course, you know, I plan to go, you know, and try to steal the show. But, you know, respect to those guys. You know, they built a great following, and they paid the cost, and that's why they're, you know, headlining their own show at the Staples Center.
Yeah, they win weeks in camp.
You got winning KSI.
I never seen either one of them bucks.
Have you seen any of the sparring?
No, I've never seen it.
Because a lot of boxers got their picks, but you're not having
No disrespect to those guys, but I really, you know, I watch, you know, real boxers. You know, it's not real.
Will you watch it?
Huh?
Will you watch the main?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, of course I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna watch it. You know, I want to see what those guys got. But, you know, other than that, to be studying them, you know, I think I got better things to do.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that the WC ranked throughout today as number one?
Yeah, I was actually surprised about that because he's actually fighting for the regular title in the WBA or something like that. So I was actually surprised to see that, but we'll see what happens.
What fight's the most realistic you feel what fight do you want the most that you feel could actually happen?
I think the fight like next that can actually happen is probably Luke Campbell. I think because, you know, me and I have the same promoter with Eddie Hearn. You know, he's been running his mouth a lot. And I think that's the fight that can really happen. A lot of guys, they say what they say, but
you could have already fought for an eliminator, couldn't you? Earlier this year, you and Luke Campbell?
Yeah, me and Luke Campbell could have actually fought, and he talks his stuff now, but he didn't want to fight. I was trying to make the fight. When I first signed with Eddie Hearn, before I was signing with him, I said, okay, well, can we make Luke Campbell for the world title? He said, yeah, we'll try to make the fight happen. We brought the fight to Luke Campbell, and Luke Campbell said, well, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to see. I might be getting Lomachenko, and why would I take the risk fighting Devin Haney and lose when I could fight Lomachenko for the belts and bigger money? So,
would you have took that risk if you were in the same situation as Luke?
I mean, it's not smart. It's not smart to be fighting me when you could be fighting, you know, Lomachenko for all the belts. I commend him. It was actually a smart decision, but don't try to come back and say that you're mad or it's not fair and all that. He's saying that he could have waited. He could have waited. He might have just got elevated. Well, you might have could have waited, but I was number 2. So if you would have waited, you still would have had to fight me for the mandatory. Or for the final eliminator. My final eliminator was Zahar Abdullayev, so he still would have had to fight me.
Right. How's that fight go then? If that's the fight that happens,
Ooh.
So you and Luke Campbell, how do you?
Oh, victorious! I would beat him worse than Lomachenko did. That's for sure.
You cook him?
Cook him, yeah. I cook him. I don't know how to cook, but I'm gonna cook him.
Gotta cook in the ring, right?
Last thing, Devin, just tell us about Eddie Hearn. Aside from the great deal he got you to come over with the DAZN and Matchroom, what opportunities do you feel that he's giving you that another promoter probably wasn't able to?
I mean, you guys see that, I went over to the UK, I got, crazy exposure, I didn't even know my fan base in the UK was as big as it was when I went. Eddie Hearn has everything that he said, he's delivered on, and I'm happy with the decision that I made so far.
You think the American fighters should give him more of a chance and hear him out?
Yeah, of course. Look what he did so far with me. Everything has went great. My profile has went up crazy since I've been signed with Eddie Hearn. I headlined twice already. I'm on this huge card with KSI and Logan Paul, and who knows what the future holds.
Yeah. With kind of piggybacking on that, Devin, as far as the relationship that Eddie Hearn has with you and the fighters in his stable, it's no secret that there's some issues obviously going on at Golden Boy, and fighters are maybe not necessarily in the greatest position.
Yeah.
Would you feel that perhaps that might be a good move for other fighters to transition over to Eddie Hearn's platform?
We're not gonna make this about Eddie Hearn. He's a great promoter, but I'm not gonna just be pitching for him. Hey, yeah, if you want to come over here. Nah, I'm just kidding. But like I said, look what he did with me. Everything has been great. I'm happy. With what Eddie Hearn has done, and we moving on to the future, and hopefully some fighters come over to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn so we can make these big fights happen.
There you go. You're a little bit ahead of the game too. You have Devin Haney Promotions. You see the situation between Canelo and Golden Boy. It's not too clear what's really going on, but how do you feel about that? And you already have your promotion established. You plan on putting more effort behind that?
Yeah, I really don't know. I don't really know what happened with Canelo and whatever. I kind of seen that. I just heard that he really wasn't happy, or she said that. I don't know. I don't really remember, but I'm still building my company. It's a co-promotion with me and Eddie Hearn, so it's not Eddie Hearn. Also, me and my team have done a lot of good things too. It's been a team effort. With my dad and Eddie Hearn. But I'm still building my brand, and eventually, Devin Haney Promotions will be at the top as well.
A few fights back, you had your guy on the undercard. You already threw him in there. You already have that kind of decision.
He just fought on my last card. He fought Darren Cunningham. I'm looking to sign more fighters, but one thing about me, I want to choose quality over quantity. I don't want to be known as just a promoter that just signs anybody or just gives anybody opportunity, which I respect. Guys who grind hard and they sacrifice and all that, but I want to choose quality fighters. So I'm still taking my time. I haven't signed too many more fighters yet, but eventually when I see another fighter that I like and I see they have the work ethic and the discipline, then I'll give them a shot.
You've always fought under the Devin Haney Promotion banner to an extent, but when did that come to mind and said, Devin Haney Promotions is you have to create it, it has to be part of my career already?
Early in my career, I knew that I wanted to start my company and I wanted to keep building my brand from when I was fighting on Showbox, and everything has been going great. One thing about me is I have a lot of say in my career and what happens with me. So if a fight doesn't happen, it's not because of me, because I can demand the fights that I want.
Devin, obviously you've accomplished quite a lot, and you're laying out the path for the future at a very young age. You're not even 21. You turn 21 later on this month. It's like in a couple of days, basically.
Yeah.
And with that being said, where do you see yourself in the next 2 years when it comes to yourself, on a personal level, and your banner as well?
Man, it's crazy because my life has changed so much in the last year. Everything's been happening so fast. All my dreams have been coming true. I never thought that I would be in this position, this fast. So in 2 years, who knows where I'll be. I'm just thankful for all the opportunities that I've been getting. You know, I want to thank God for everything that He's done. And, you know, in 2 years, who knows where I'll be? You know, sky is the limit.
Where would you say you get this wisdom from at such a young age to already have this mind frame and being there where maybe other fighters haven't even?
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. A lot of people say that, but, you know, I got a good team around me. You know, my dad, you know, he got a lot of influence on me, and you know how I got here is, you know, if I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad.
And Devin, lastly, I just wanted to see, did you see the Shakur Stevenson fight?
Yeah.
What do you think of Shakur's first title?
I thought Shakur went in there. He put on a great performance. He pitched a shutout. That's exactly what I planned him to do. A lot of people were saying that it would be a close fight, but I knew that Shakur would blow him out. You know, Shakur got a lot of experience. I've been through the amateur ranks with him, so I knew what he was capable of doing, and he went in there, he did it.
What's that relationship like? You know, him kind of. It seems like you're rooting him on, he's rooting you on, and it also seems like you guys are never gonna fight anyway.
Yeah,
because he's at one weight.
Yeah, me and Shakur, we cool. I just talked to Shakur like a couple days ago. You know, he always wished me good luck on all my fights, and I always wish him good luck. You know, congrats and all that. We always, you know, keep up with each other. So you know, he's doing great. I'm doing great, you know, and I'm happy for him.
Do you hold him or someone else number 2 after you being number 1 on?
Say it again.
Do you hold Shakur number 2 after you being number 1 on the young up-and-coming fighters? Or
Of course, I'm labeling myself as number 1 for sure.
Oh
yeah, I see what you're saying. Number two for sure. Shakur.
Why is that?
I mean, look at him. He's world champion. Which one of these young guys is world champion besides me? So it's only me and him, you know, who I say number 3. I got to go with Teofimo because he's about to fight for world title, and he's been showing up in his fights. I got to give him that, even though he doesn't like me. What's the name? Number 4, I go with Ryan. Yeah, I got Ryan. I say Ryan, then I say Boots. I think Boots is got crazy talent, but you know he'll like as his fights pick up, then he'll move up. He'll move up more. But he has crazy talent. He's another phenomenal fighter. I remember him from the amateur ranks as well. So it's a lot of good guys coming up, and that's why I feel like, you know, I don't need Lomachenko. It's big fights that can happen. It's a new era of boxing, and these fights will happen eventually. You know, I'm above my time, so you know that's why I'm trying to rush these fights now. You know, to make them happen, because pretty soon all those guys aren't going to be around no more.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you.